Hey, hi, my name is Chris. Every day I do a vlog. So if you could like, subscribe, or maybe hit that bell notification, I'd really appreciate it. Every day I talk about something uniquely different. And today, pessimistic people, please stay away. I try and engage you because I'm a very hopeful person. I'm hopeful that you'll be an optimist at some point. But unfortunately, it's my experience that if you are a pessimist, you'll always remain a pessimist. Oh dear, I've spent obviously an awful lot of time around somebody recently who is completely draining. And this isn't like a transient episode in their life where they're experiencing difficulty. If it was, I'd be there to support them. I'd be there to help them. I really would. But they're just naturally like this, and they suck the life force out of you. And they can be quite horrible at times. I've had a meal with them recently, and gosh, they made it a painful prospect. I was with other people as well, and even they noticed it. And they're not prepared to learn. They won't listen to advice, and they would never, ever apologize for their behavior. Pessimistic people just really drain the life force out of me. Like I've said, if you're experiencing difficulty, I'll be a good friend, family member, colleague. I will support you. I will give you as much as I'm able to give you. But goodness gracious, please don't drain my life force. Because I think if you only ever see life through that optic, then what is your metric for living? What is it? Is it always going to be disappointment? Is it always going to be misery? Is there going to be no joy or happiness left in your heart? And if that's all you have, then, well, you haven't got much, have you? What have you got? And what about the misery you spread out to other people? You just don't want to be around that. Spreading the misery is so disappointing. And especially, really, when you cannot look at the glass half full. Because, guess what? You don't want to do that because you're so miserable and wrapped up in yourself. This particular person, though, has really challenged my perception this week. And whilst the core of who they are is okay, and they are not a bad person, but they just haven't learned that life is truly the most magical prospect that you can have. And they just see it in a very degrading way. And I, for one, am the complete opposite. And being the complete opposite of that, well, means that I see life completely different to them. And I guess if you're in opposition with people who are like that, then maybe just having or limiting that interaction, limiting that connection. Don't be around it. It's necessary in life to remove the I guess, pessimism. It just really takes away from who you are. And it can, if you let it, ruin your day. And this particular person I've known for a while. They've literally been behaving like this for a very long time. And everything to them is just not very nice. Everything is just so horrible and so challenging. I mean, look, life is a challenge. We all have to accept that. We all belong to a period of time in our lives where at least some point you're going to be challenged by something. I always say that life really isn't the absence of problems. It's having our ability to be able to, I guess, move forward from it. But they just keep on resurrecting the past, living, I guess, a very pessimistic lifestyle. And my exposure to that needs to be very, very minimal, because it's just not something that I enjoy. Even the seagull agrees with me. I think even the seagull actually there has got more optimism about him than and this person that I've seen this week. And they lack the understanding of how their behaviour ripples out to others around them. I just feel that, I keep saying this, but I try and limit my contact with this person, but sometimes it's necessary to have this interaction. And I guess it's the entitlement of it. They just feel entitled around you, constantly feeling like they're like people should give them stuff. They don't want to work for it. They just want to be given stuff. In fact, I don't know if they know that they've never done a hard day's work in their life. It's just the way they make me feel. And I don't like feeling negativity. I really want to feel optimism, openness, happiness, joy. I want to enjoy the pleasure of life, because it is a real gift. By the way, I'm just approaching this incredible boat here. This fills me with optimism, with joy, with happiness. Look at this. This is incredible, isn't it? That is fantastic. Absolutely incredible. Morning. That is incredible. What an amazing boat. God, I wouldn't mind sailing that out to the Caribbean. That would be joyful, wouldn't it? That would be an optimistic prospect. But I'm sure this person I'm talking about, well, they probably see the negative side, and it would just be horrible for them. And I just think if your starting point is pessimism, when you wake up in the morning, when you get up out of bed, why do you bother getting out of bed? If everything you're going to see, if everything you're going to do is rubbish and horrible and it's okay. Gosh, why? Why bother getting out of bed? So to people who are pessimistic out there, just put a mirror up if you can. Put a mirror up and see how you're behaving and how others are perceiving. And even if you've got the most difficult time going, seek some help. Seek some kind of antidote to the way that you are feeling. Because if you do that, life will be so much better, I absolutely promise you. And like I say, it's not the absence of problems in your life. It's the ability to be able to fix it, to make it right. Every single person I've ever met has had a problem. I don't think there's ever been a person I've ever met that's never had a problem in their life. Everybody gets problems. Every single person. You're not the only one. You really aren't. I've had problems. You've had problems. Everybody. I mean every single person walking this planet, wherever they are, on this rock in space, are going to have problems. Because it's indicative of where you are. It's indicative of geographically of what your options are on any given day. And it may well be that those problems are succinct to your geographical location. It may well be that. But you can't let it get you down, and you certainly, like a disease, spread it to other people, because that's just not fair on other people. So if you would say you're a pessimist, do me a favour, for one day, just for one day, try and fight it. Try and bring some optimism to the world. If you can do that, I think you're making a real change with yourself. You know, one of the true gifts about life is knowing that you can change, you can do stuff. And if you have the ability to be able to, if you have the ability and the prospect to be able to just go and say, look, this is what I'm doing wrong with my life, and I'm going to try and put it right, just give that prospect a go. You just don't know what could happen. You might end up having the best day of your life. It could mean that you have options. It could mean that you have the opportunity to live differently, even if it is only for one day. And if it is only for one day, then, well, maybe you can reflect back on it and think, actually, maybe I need to repeat this prospect. Maybe I need to do this every day. If you can do that, well, you're growing as a person and you're being, dare I say it, an optimist. Because I don't think optimism is in the core of who we are. It's not. It's we're naturally creatures who have to look at survival, at surviving the next hour, the next day, the next month. It's important for us to do that. But if all you see are dark clouds on a beautiful day, well, what is the point? Really? What is the point? There's no point, is there? I would hate to live my life like that. Pessimistic people draw time away from me. And they stain the time. You look back on the time that you spent with people like that and you just think, God, I didn't enjoy that. It's a beautiful day, but they weren't very nice. And all they did was be horrible. It's very easy for people when they're pessimists to be horrible, to say horrible things, to do horrible things, and they never apologize for it. Do you know that? They never ever apologize for their bad behavior. And that says a lot about who they are as a person. Because I think it's necessary in life to have the ability, especially if you've done wrong, to apologize to somebody and say, look, hold your hands up and say, oh, I'm sorry, I was completely wrong and I shouldn't have said it on there. Good morning. And I think that makes you a good human being. It really does. So, pessimistic people, my final words to you, if you're going to be a pessimist, maybe stay alone. Stay indoors. Don't spread that poison to other people. It is poison. It's just denigrates other people's happiness. And if you're naturally an optimist and you have people like that in your life, stay away from them. Don't let them impact on your life. Like I said already, they can stain the time that you have. And time is so precious. We don't want to waste it. And we certainly do not want to waste it on people who don't deserve it. I just think it's just wasteful. And they're wasting their life as well. They're wasting their time. Because the fondness, the happiness, the memories, the joy, they're not going to have any of that. And they're certainly not going to have happy memories where they can reflect and look back and say, well, I really enjoyed that day. Because actually what they're doing is taking away from themselves as well. And that's on them, isn't it? It really is. It's on them. So, sorry I had a little rant about that today. And although I still have to see this person, I'm going to definitely limit my contact. Because in limiting my contact, I'm going to feel so much better. So, if you're a pessimist, maybe stay in. Avoid people, avoid spreading the misery. I think that's my advice. And that, I think, is probably good advice. And on that note, look, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. Every day I do a vlog. If you could like, subscribe, or maybe hit that bell notification, I'd really appreciate it. And how about hype this video? That would be fantastic. Thank you. I'm back at my favourite place, which is Plymouth Town Centre. I may even grab a coffee. So, on that note, thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye now.